grew up in a home that did not have any family systems. We've been learning a lot of family systems today, and we have a lot of great ideas. In my personal home now, I do use family systems, and I find it's really helpful. But I grew up in a home where I never really had a bedtime. I never really helped out with chores a lot. My mom did it, and she was okay doing it, and didn't whine about it. We didn't have a lot, I never had a family cheer really. We had fun traditions and things we did, but it wasn't really structured. We didn't have a flag, or we didn't have all of these things that we've talked about as ideas today. But what we did have is I had a family where I was never an annoyance to my parents. That they were always excited to see me, and they treated me like I was the most important person to them. When I would be up in the middle of the night, if I had the stomach flu or something like that, I'd go into my mom's room and she would act like there was nothing she would rather be doing in the middle of the night than sitting with me while I had the stomach flu and helping me to change my bed sheets or clean up my room or help me so I wasn't feeling sick. She just treated me like I really mattered to her. Same with my dad, is that if I ever said, hey Dad, will you come and will you play with us at the park? He'd always say yes. And even if he had to wait because he was busy, had other things, he'd even go for 20 minutes or say, I'll go at 6:30, or he'd always say yes to us, to spend time with us. And there was a sweet experience with my mom that she was always on her knees praying by her bed. I would walk in her room, I can't even tell you how many times. I'd go in her room, where's Mom? And I walk in and she's on her knees next to her bed. But every time I'd walk in, she'd be standing there and she'd open her arms like this. And she'd turn right away and put her arms out. And I said, well, Mom, what do you say in your prayers when I walk in? And she said, well, I just tell God that my child needs me and I'll be right back. And I always just felt this immense love from them. We didn't have a vacation home. We always shopped on sale. We'd go to garage sales and find different items and toys and things we could use. We were really frugal and we would have fun doing things that didn't cost a lot of money. But we just had this bond that was amazing. And it's the inspiration for why I want to do Power of Moms, because I see families failing. And there's no reason for families to fail. I mean, as we're here and we're talking, every problem we have, it's like, oh, I know. Everyone's sharing solutions. We're here to share solutions. And so I think about what kind of mother I want to be, what kind of family I want to have, and what I want my children to learn from me. And I feel like this is our responsibility to really strengthen our family and love them. And if we can't get everything done, and if they're not perfect, so that's okay, because it's what we want our children to feel. And right now, I think a lot of you know, I've talked about my mom throughout this weekend. She's in this rehabilitation center. She is struggling and she wants to go home, and my siblings and I are trying to visit her, and my siblings and I for the first time are doing these email lists, and we're writing to each other all the time. Okay, here's how Mom's doing, here's the medication update, we talked to nurses today. And all 8 of us are emailing each other and trying to figure out how our mom is doing. And every single one of us wants to be with her as much as we possibly can. We ache for her, we love her, we want to just go be with her. My sister was feeding her the other day because she couldn't eat her food, she wasn't interested in it, and she's saying, here comes the choo-choo! She's there with my mom taking care of her. And you think, when we're older and we're done and we're ready to pass on, we want our children to want to be with us and to be just wanting to be by our side and loving us and missing us. And that doesn't happen by us trying to pound out everything perfect. That happens by us loving them and being in the moment and just hugging them and saying, you are awesome, you are my child, and how privileged I am to be a mother.